You ever see something so wild, so completely out of the blue, you wonder if maybe you're the only one in the room who's awake? Yeah, that was me own early morning in the morgue, slap in the middle of the city's fanciest hospital, watching the so-called corpse of a billionaire's wife flinch under my hand like I'd just called her back from the dead. You know what I mean? And look, I didn't wake up that day expecting my life to flip upside down. I was just Naomi Moore, the invisible one youngest on staff, the only black woman working behind those cold, pristine glass walls at Halcyon Medical, a place so clean you could eat off the floor, but God forbid you leave a fingerprint on a reputation. Every day was the same white LED lights burning overhead, air thick with disinfectant, staff so polite it hurt, and me hustling to make myself smaller, quieter, unremarkable. My job? Officially, patient care tech, prepping bodies, sanitizing the rooms, getting paperwork done. Unofficially, if someone puked, if something stank, if the work was too grim, they called me. That's how I learned early on complain. Don't question, don't mess up. Just be better than everyone else, and maybe they'll leave you alone. That was the hope. Anyway, I gotten used to the rhythm. Bodies come in, bodies go out. I kept it clinical, respectful. Still said little prayers over each zipper, remembered faces, even when nobody else cared. But that morning, just as the sun was crawling up over the towers outside, coffee in hand, badge swinging, I could feel it something was off. Whispers in the corridors, higher-ups moving like ghosts, security stationed at every exit. The air was tight, sharp, even before they called my name. Big news. Clarissa Whitmore, yes, that Whitmore was coming in. Tech billionaire's wife, society's golden girl, dead of a supposed heart attack. Every magazine in the country had splashed her smile across their covers, those big parties, those perfect outfits. Now she was here, zipped into a body bag, guarded by more suits than the president. Carl, another tech, helped me get her in a chamber B. The second the paperwork changed hands, those men in black vanished like it never happened. You'd think I'd feel nothing, having seen so many bodies by now. But the second I pulled back the sheet, my breath caught. Clarissa didn't look dead. Her skin had a strange flush, her lips a glossy pink, her hair perfect. I pressed her arm, felt a faint warmth, muscles that hadn't gone slack. Something inside me rang the alarm bells. Carl brushed it off. She's dead, Naomi. Paperwork's all here. Don't start imagining things. But I couldn't shake it. After he left, I stood over her, heart pounding, studying every inch. No rigor, no obvious signs of death. The longer I stared, the more I knew something was wrong. What if she wasn't gone? What if this was all a mistake, or worse, a cover-up? Maybe it was crazy, but I did what I did next anyway. I raised my hand and slapped her firm, loud, desperate. That crack echoed off the stainless steel walls, and for one wild heartbeat, I regretted it. Then her eyelids fluttered. Her fingers twitched. Her chest rose, a gasp struggling at her lips. "Oh my God, she's alive," I whispered, fumbling for the emergency button, mind racing, hands shaking. Carl burst back in, eyes wide. "What the?" Then Clarissa's eyes opened, glazed with panic. Chaos followed, doctors, nurses, alarms blaring. She was alive, pulse weak, but real. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, when Gregory Whitmore stormed in, fury blazing from every inch of his tailored suit, I got accused. "You hit my wife. Are you insane?" He spat at me, ignoring the truth, ignoring the fact I just saved her life. Not one person in that room said a word in my defense. Yeah, that happened. Later, alone in the hallway, the real hit came not a slap this time, but the sudden shift from invisible to dangerous. Staff avoided my gaze. Gossip swirled. Not hero threat, not expert criminal. I crossed a line, not just in protocol, but in the unspoken order of things. Now, because I'd touched someone like Clarissa, someone like me was at the center of storm. Admin called me upstairs, sat me in a room with HR, legal, the SOO, security. Just routine questions, they said. They wanted my every thought, my every move. I told them straight I did what I had to do. I saw signs of life. I acted. On intuition, legal pressed, pin tapping. Yes, on intuition and experience. Silence. The COO finally declared, "We're putting you on leave pending investigation." Protected, they called it. I called it scapegoating. Back in my apartment that night, city lights blinking through my blinds, I watched the news. They spun it as a medical miraclino mention of the morgue, no mention of me. The hospital, desperate to control the story, started covering tracks. Crisis meetings. Whispered strategies. My name on their lips, but never out loud. Then came a knock. Detective Roman Volosian, calm and sharp-eyed, handed me a folder of evidence Clarissa had been chemically sedated, not dead. "Someone tried to make it look like she was," he said. "You did the right thing." He was the first, and for a while the only one. Across town, Clarissa, finally awake, whispered, "She saved me." But Gregory? He locked down her room, muzzled every nurse, plotted PR. Still, word leaked. A whistleblower dropped internal emails. Suddenly, my name shifted, no longer villain, but maybe, just maybe, a hero. Social media caught fire. The story couldn't be buried. And then, the twist I never saw coming. Clarissa wanted to speak to me. She told me everything, the plan to escape her abusive marriage, the lover who was supposed to help her disappear, the drugs that slowed her heart to a crawl. Only it all went wrong. Her rescuer vanished with the money, leaving her trapped in her own body, almost lost for good. My slap, the desperate last try, pulled her back. She wanted the truth out about Gregory, about Dennis, about herself. She wanted me cleared and the man who betrayed her found. The investigation went public. Dennis was caught boarding a plane out of state. The headlines exploded. Now, the story was everywhere: how a morgue tech's intuition had foiled a deadly plot, how the hospital failed its own standards, how even billionaires couldn't buy silence forever. The hospital buckled under scrutiny. The chief of pathology resigned. Administrators suspended. And me? They reinstated me, full apology, offered a promotion. I accepted, but quietly. It didn't stop there. Clarissa filed for divorce, started a foundation for women escaping control. I led patient advocacy, changed protocols, spoke out about bias and the cost of silence. People reached out, strangers, nurses, students, calling me brave, humble, a hero. But all I did was refuse to look away, to pretend deaf when I saw life. Even when the headlines faded, something real remained. The hospital changed. Staff listened more. I ran ethics seminars, pushed for change that lasted longer than any news cycle. Sometimes I'd stand in the morgue, hand on that cold table, remembering the day everything changed. One act of courage, one impossible instinct now echoed in 100 small voices refusing to be ignored. Clarissa and I, we kept in touch. She found herself again, built something for others out of her pain. And me, I kept going, one case, one patient, one truth at a time, knowing every day that my story was just the start of something bigger. Even after 6 months, I could feel the world turning, the ripples still spreading. So, yeah, that's how I went from invisible to infamous, all because I trusted my gut when everyone else wanted the story to stay neat and quiet. And maybe you're out there, stuck in your own silent room, scared to speak. I'm here to tell you, don't let anyone convince you that your voice doesn't matter. Sometimes, all it takes is one slap, one act. Nobody sees Camino wake the world up. Now, what about you? Who do you think crossed the line here? Where's the line between instinct and insubordination, justice and scandal? Leave your take below, because this isn't just my story, it could be anybody's. If you felt something, share this, pass it on. Let's see who else is ready to break the silence.